There. Sorry, guys. Oh, I'm echoing as well. There we go. Thanks for telling me. I appreciate that. So, I have a habit of having to hyper over explain myself when I screw up like that. But, I think it was, I used OBS to, capture some, movies or you know, DVDs or that for my videos, or if I'm renting a movie, I just record it on OBS and then I've got it forever, and it's kind of morally ambiguous whether that's okay or not, but I just refuse to pay full price for a rental, like for a digital movie, so I'm like, no, I'll just rent it and record it. It's no big deal. It's not like I'm going to sell it on or anything. Nah, it's Kick's fault. No, we're not blaming Kick. Kick is a good boy. So, I haven't live streamed for a while, and we're just taking things easy, taking things as it comes, really. Kick is my husband. It's fun to blame the tree ogre. It might be fun for you, but I have to live with him. So let's be kind to the tree ogre. Also, my fidget toy might make some noise, so if it gets annoying, please tell me and I'll switch to something a bit quieter. Sounds like a you problem. Well, yeah, it is by law and under God. It's my problem. I made it my problem very deliberately. But we're just going to take things easy and you know, just hang out. So we might draw stuff, we might not draw stuff, we might just sit and chat about stuff. I don't know. Hey, you know what would be good if I told people on my Discord server that we're doing this? If Discord would open. Discord's not opening. Okay. Why aren't you opening, Discord? I am hurling at the moon. There we go. I suppose people, like, obviously we've got the mods here so they know what's happening, but I'm just in this awful habit of just, hey, I feel like live streaming, let's just do it randomly and not tell anybody. I'm just going to throw it up and then see what happens. Spontaneous live stream. Spontaneous live stream. There, at everyone. Hey, you know what? You don't need an at after that. At everyone. That didn't even work. There's a space after. Oh my god. Why? Everyone. There. Now you have no choice. You have been pinged. Okay, so let's bring the chat back up. We got a quiz. Yes, we have a quiz. Yo yo. If we all got in here, we have the Pretzel 2, Frostbite, hello, thank you for modding for me. SB Kimball, Blackjack, Quiz, hi Quiz, Relaxing Steven, Pretzel 2, Blake Star, Prince Apollo, howdy howdy howdy. If I missed anybody, sorry. Okay, I have no idea what I'm going to be doing today. We're just going to be doodling, so, and talking. Currently sick? Oh no! I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks. Speaking of birds, decided to let the baby ducks explore beyond the coop today. Cute. What are you planning ready of drawing? There is no plan. Do I look like a girl with a plan? There is no plan. We're just doodling. Unless things are lagging for me. It's not. So yesterday, or was it yesterday? Yes, it was. I got so royally peeved at my computer, or more specifically my Wacom Intuos. So if anybody here does digital art using a drawing monitor and you have a multiple screen setup, you might come across the pen mapping changing whenever your computer does an update. So for instance, the stylus that I've got in my hand only works on the Wacom Intuos Pro. But the Wacom Intuos Pro is also a monitor, obviously. And sometimes, this is difficult for me to explain, but like, the surface is only mapped to the Wacom, not the other monitors, so I can't use this pen on the other monitors. But sometimes the mapping will change to include the other two monitors, so when I put my pen to the Wacom, the cursor will appear on another monitor, and I've had this problem happen before, and it drove me insane, because on some display settings it registers the Wacom Cintiq, as monitor 2, and then other display settings that the Wacom Center had it set as generic monitor 1, but when I clicked the display driver to identify each monitor so that a number shows up on each monitor, it said that not the Wacom, but another monitor was monitor 2. So I was like, how on earth? Why is this so, like, screwed up? I had no idea. But we sorted it out. But it was a big test of my patience. There was a lot of swearing. And I tend to only swear when I'm really angry. So, yeah. I try my best not to use the Lord's name in vain when I can, but it's hard. But, yeah. Charles B. What would the Maddie plushie say if you pulled the string on it? Stop pulling the string? I don't know. Do you mean if she had a pull string device that made her talk? Is that what you mean? I have two plushies of Maddie, the pony version. I don't have a plushie version of Dooney Maddie. I need to get that sorted at some point. I don't know. Like, stop pulling the string. I don't know. I'm not a performing monkey. I don't know. I will be right back. Need to set up my PC. Don't do that just on my part, because this is very spontaneous and the streams don't tend to be all that busy, so we shouldn't have any issues. But what would Mary think of Loppy? Well, in the most recent episode of Blissy Idea, Loppy Idea, Mary is in that episode. So if you want to find out what Mary thinks of Loppy, go and watch that. Oh, okay. Just ease up on the all caps, Chris, but I appreciate it. I do what I want, women, friendship and stuff. Yes, I understand. Just please don't use all caps in the chat. I find it very distracting. Okay. Just got a random idea. Mary is doll like Jessie from Toy Story. I've drawn her as a cowboy before. I had a Katanid on my door, so maybe we could draw a Katanid. So I need to have a reference of it first. Derp. Okay. There. Just trying to distract myself from my recent bout with a fraud internet celebrity I thought I had developed a relationship with. Okay. these things do happen. Alright. Well, hopefully hanging out in the stream will take your mind off it. Katenid. We don't have any music. Oh wait, why am I looking up photographs of it when I literally took a photograph of it myself? I could just use that. I'm dumb. Okay, let's see if I can find this. It is... Wow, I have to scroll quite far to find it. Okay. But yeah, Mary has now met Loppy. And we were discussing this a couple of months ago. Like, how would Mary react to Loppy? Or how would Loppy react to Mary? And in my brain, it's like they're both annoying characters, but in very different ways. But unlike Loppy, who is annoying to the point of being unaware of what she's doing wrong, like Mary has a level of unawareness to the point of it being obnoxious, but it's not malicious, it's not self-serving. Mary's definitely as much as she's a character that is about self-love, which can cross over the line of vanity, but not to the point where she's making other people miserable, not intentionally anyway. So I like the idea of, if you had Casper Pie, Loppy, and Mary in a group together, Mary would be the straight character. So, yeah. Have I seen the... Wait. Okay. Have you seen the trailer for Zootopia 2 yet? Yes, I have. I'm excited for it. We're gonna eat so well when that movie comes out, with all the other stuff that's coming out around the same time. I'm very excited about. That's awesome that there are people here that are fans of Lightning Bliss. Give her all the support that you possibly can. We work together quite extensively, quite often, and so she is getting ready for GalaCon, so I'm really excited for her to be going out to GalaCon for the first time. So yes, give her all the support you can. She's awesome. She is one of my closest friends. I love her dearly. Okay, so Katenid. We do need a photo of it. I just need to make sure that I'm getting the right leaf bug, because there's a lot of different kinds. No, you're good. You're good, Chris. It's fine. It's like... it's not a big deal if it's like one word, but if it's like a full sentence... Yeah, I try to discourage people writing like that. It's like if you're in a group with lots of people and there's always that one person that's shouting everything. That's what caps is to me, and my brain just goes straight to it. So if you can try... Yeah, I just mentioned not to use all caps, so please let's not do that. What did you think of Loppy the first time you saw or heard about her? You know what? Let's draw Loppy. You know, because like people are bringing up Loppy all the time. I'm like, yeah, let's draw Loppy. Let's do it. I mean, we've drawn 20. So okay, I will say again, please. I'm really happy that you guys are here, but please don't type in all caps. I would appreciate that. because it's very distracting for me. Okay. You're good. It's not like there's a set rule. I'm not going to kick anybody out for doing it. I'd only really do that if people ignore me repeatedly. So, yeah, it's all okay. No, I know, I understand. Let's see. Do you have a reference? We could take a screenshot from a video. Let's do that. Oh wait, would it not be on her DeviantArt? Let's see. I haven't posted on DeviantArt for years, but my page is still up and people still like comment on my stuff, but I have not posted anything on DeviantArt for years now. Loppy is a character on Lightning Bliss's channel. There's a series called Blissy Idea, Loppy Idea, which is kind of a play on the Good Idea, Bad Idea from the Animaniacs series. And it's basically her telling stories about the like good idea when interacting with content creators. And so the one that Mary is in, that one is about when you're ordering a commission from an artist, and we have Blissy ordering a commission from Maddie. They're talking about it, talking about pricing and talking about payment plans, etc. And then Loppy comes in and says that Maddie's prices are too expensive. Do you offer discounts for poor people? Or then she says, oh, I can just go to another artist and get art for cheaper that's better quality, etc., etc. And yeah, that's very true. People can. I mean, all the episodes of the Loppy Ideas are based on real conversations we've had with people. And so, like, it's learning etiquette, basically. I had to stream when it's midnight here. I know, but I'm sorry. I have no control over the time zones, and I had class at like 4, and then I had to make, well, I didn't have to make dinner today. We just bought food, but yeah, time zones suck. I know. I'm sorry. Almost like a show about social cues and how to treat people. Yeah, it's more about how to conduct yourself online, but you can still take that lessons and apply it to conversations in person as well. A lot of it is exaggerated for comedy, but there is quite a bit. The other video episode even that Maddie is in was one where she's advertising for commissions, and someone commented on her pricing that they were also open for commissions and for people to go and order from her. And when you're sharing your price list for commissions on a thread that another artist is using to advertise their work, that it's like that can be interpreted as they're stealing your customers, and that actually happened to me, and I was not very happy about it. So yes, Maddie has human legs. I always thought she had hooves. Her design tends to change all the time. Sometimes she has the human legs, sometimes she has the goat legs. She is an ever-evolving concept. Do you care any about Toy Story 6 at this point? Do you mean Toy Story 5? I care that we're, you know, it's like, oh, another Toy Story movie. It's like, oh, yay, more cake. I'm like, why would I be mad about that? I think Toy Story 4 gets too much hate. Simply because, like, yes, you can argue that Toy Story 3, like, was a good place for that franchise to end on. But the way that I'm seeing it is, it's like, we're seeing the life cycle. Like, the first movie was about, like, Woody worrying about getting replaced. Like, I'm seeing it like, oh, Andy's kind of like his son, so the dad that Woody is, he's like, oh, my son is getting older, and he's finding other like male role models to model himself after. I'm feeling really insecure about that, worrying I'm getting replaced, so then I'm going to try to sabotage that relationship. And then you've got Toy Story 2, where it's not about being replaced, but being thrown out, like discarded or forgotten about. And so then in Toy Story 3, it's a similar idea, but it's the son is growing up, he's his own person, he's wanting his independence, he's wanting to go to college, and you know, Woody has to find a new identity. It's just like when a father and their kid moves out and they're like empty nest syndrome, so they have to find a new identity, and he finds that with Bonnie. And so then Toy Story 4 comes along, and he's still trying to find his place and where he belongs in that room, that society. He's not in charge anymore. He's one of the oldies. It's like he's a grandparent and he's in a care home, being alongside all the other old toys that Bonnet's not really interested in. So then he realizes, oh hey, I can leave and live my own life away from this, and get back with Bo Peep. And Toy Story 5, I'm not sure what, I don't know enough about it yet. All I know is that it's about technology, like iPads and all that, and how that's replacing a lot of the tangible play that kids need for like learning how to navigate the world. Everything is on a screen. That's how they play. They're just tapping or watching stuff instead of like handling things, playing with things, building things, you know, all that kind of stuff. I can't formulate an opinion on something I haven't seen. I can't formulate an opinion on something I don't know much about yet. The only thing I can say is that I'm looking forward to seeing it, because once again, yay, more cake. Yeah. Let's see. Do you remember the Toy Story 2 PS1 game? I never played PlayStation games growing up, I'm afraid. Hello, I am Elliot. I apologize. I can't. I can't pronounce that. I'm sorry. That's dyslexia. Love your content you did. Awesome. Thanks for the support. I still think it should have ended with 3. Most people have that opinion, and I respect that. Going into 2025, I thought it was going to be Superman vs. Fantastic Four. Boy, was I wrong. Those movies were awful and both flopped. The true fighting giants are Demon Slayers versus Demon Hunters. I have to disagree with that. Superman was definitely not a flop. Neither was Fantastic Four. Neither of them flopped, but I understand what you're meaning. They like, when they're reporting the box office numbers, they dropped after a week and yada yada yada. But no, they definitely weren't flops. The true fighting giants are Demon Slayers versus Demon Hunters. I've seen Demon Hunters, loved it. It's a good movie. I don't know what Demon Slayers is. Studios need to learn to let franchises go. They literally can't. They can't do that. Do you think The Incredibles 3 will be great. If Brad Bird has his mitts on it, then yes. If not, then I'm skeptical. Maddie, I do agree and see it in my job. School bus okay. Where the elementary kids with freaking cell phones at age... Oh, you're talking about what? Talking about tangible play being replaced with screens. Have you heard of the Disney Hercules Twisted Tail book? Yes, I have it somewhere. There's... I remember before I left the UK, my late sister, God bless her, gave me a set of Twisted Tail books. And she couldn't get the Hercules one, but she gave me 3, I think it was the Beauty and the Beast one, Sleeping Beauty, and I can't remember what the third one was. But yes, I have that, and there's a couple of other books that are official fan fics of Disney stuff based on the Hercules movie. The Twisted Tail one is really good. I really enjoyed that one. So let's see. I really don't care about the box office numbers. I don't get why people focus on how much a movie makes rather than how much they enjoyed the movie. Yeah, it's that. So, Darren, you're all going to end up rotting in a landfill. You're quoting from Toy Story 3, I'm guessing. I'm guessing that's what you're doing. But I hope that's what you're doing. But if not, yeah, you're definitely killing the positive mood. Do you think Sid remember that toys are alive in TS3? I would like to think so. Yeah. Oh, Toy Story 2. Yeah, because Pegleg Pete said it in Toy Story 2. Yes, you're right. Yeah. But yes, he is. They are quoting from Toy Story 2. Just remember to make that clear, because obviously, like, there's a delay in like when you type it to when you post it until when I see it, because by then half the time the conversation has moved on to something else. So then people will read it and not realize it's a quote. So Stinky Pete, not Pegleg Pete, but his name is Stinky Pete, the prospector. Thank you for the correction. I said Pegleg Pete, but it's not Pegleg, even though he is peg-legged. It's that's not his name. Is he peg-legged? No, he's not peg-legged. What am I talking about? Anyway, I screwed up. Yay! It's almost like I'm human or something. So we were going to draw Loppy. Okay, let's see if I can find a decent reference of her. Lightning Bliss, I am stalking you in a good way. That sounded wrong, but you know what I mean. Ah! Okay, do you have... He's not peg-legged. Okay, I said peg-leg Pete, but my brain was not... Like, sometimes I'll say the wrong thing, but you all know what I meant. Stinky Pete, not peg-leg Pete. Oh, do you not have a picture of Loppy? There she is. Okay. Found her. Okay. We are drawing Loppy. He would have been peg-legged had Sid had him. Yeah, that's very true. She's got a very interesting body, but yeah. Oh wait, am I in the right layer? Yes, I am. Okay. have the head come around this way. I don't know, but we'll change the pose as we go probably, but we're just figuring things out. I need your opinion on something. I'm planning on creating a Power Rangers TTRPG team that is themed in Scotland. Should I do a team of 3, 5, and what? I know nothing about Power Rangers. And if it's themed in Scotland, I'm not entirely sure how that would work because, yeah, I don't know enough about Power Rangers, and Power Rangers is like, it's derivative from franchises from Japan, that came before it, and then it's been, transformed into something that's more accessible to a Western audience. And if you're modeling a Power Rangers team based from Scotland, I guess you would have to model it after different clans. But then, so it's a very, like, the fighting style in Power Rangers is not really... How would that kind of fighting style make its way into the UK? Like, I go into my brain a lot, how would that work storytelling wise? So I really don't know. Let's see. I'm sorry I can't help you, but the main reason why is because I'm not a Power Rangers person. I'm going to move my camera. There. That's better. Okay. Mojo Jojo is going to steal Bliss and take her to a laboratory. Okay. Friendships happen organically. That's what I'll say. So when someone says, do you want to be friends, that puts me in a very awkward situation because I'm like, it's not like, knock knock, can I come in? Oh sure, come in. It's like, you can't just like form a friendship just by, yeah, no, sorry, I'm not, that's not how friendships work. And let's not type in all caps, please. What is the most scared you've been while playing a video game? While playing a video game, let's see. I think what springs to mind is there's a lot of moments when I'm playing games that aren't necessarily horror games, but the moments were kind of scary anyway. I think the earliest moment I felt scared playing a video game was, this is going to sound crazy, but if anyone remembers the game Rayman 2, there's a level in that where you're sliding down a hill and there's like this monster chasing after you, and for some reason while you're sliding down the hill, like, it's chasing after you, and around you see the teeth of the monster like just slowly coming over, and that freaked me out as a kid. And I don't know if that was the first time I felt genuine fear playing a video game, but that is the one that I remember right now. Lurk time, be back soon. Main Man was all kinds of weird to begin with. Yeah, but I mean, there's being weird, and then there's just being scary for no real reason. Another moment, like this is a very, very well known moment. Ocarina of Time, Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. There was a moment in that I was absolutely terrified, and it came out of nowhere. And it was the what's it called? You probably all are screaming at me what it is. If I can find it. Oh, there it is. Dead Hand. What, why? Just why? How was Opaline as a villain to you? I've literally made several videos about MLP Generation 5. I talked about Opaline extensively, so if you want to learn more about my thoughts on her, I would recommend watching those videos. I'm not kind. So, let's just keep it simple. I think it's just learning the difference, but like there's the parasocial element, like people have their persona that they use them when they're online, and then the real them that they reveal to a certain group of people, but sometimes people can't differentiate between the person they are online and the person they are in real life. It just kind of blends together. And then there's the whole thing about role playing, and it's hard introducing yourself to new people, and I completely get that. But when it's like chatting in a live stream, I mean, I'm not acting, I'm not performing, I'm just being me. But I know people know me as my character Maddie on my channel, or most people know me for the content I have that I'm in other people's channels, and that's perfectly fine. I want to get to know the real you, like, if it's possible. Like, don't feel like you have to pretend to be someone else when you're here, you know. It's yeah. I know like people are really socially awkward, so they're looking for like something to shield themselves from, you know, like they don't want to expose themselves to people that they don't know too quickly, and there's a lot of people here that don't know each other, etc., etc. So people will be like, oh, I like this franchise, therefore like I should be able to connect with people that like the franchise, and that is a good way to start, but it's not a guarantee. So yeah. Damn it, just knocking things over. I'm not being very articulate right now, but I hope I'm getting my point across nonetheless. Anyway. I didn't say I didn't like G5. I said I wasn't kind to Opaline, that's from G5. I've made several videos about my feelings about G5. But, I mean, you can still be a fan of something, but still see its flaws. I mean, G4 wasn't perfect. Like, G4 was definitely not Shakespeare, for God's sake. It had so many flaws. And the same with G5. I don't like how there's people that would be like, oh, if you like G4, you can't like G5. Or if you like G5, then you're not a true MLP fan. That's a lot of bullcrap. But it's like, as as a reviewer or analyst or whatever, I have to kind of remove the emotional connection that I have to certain things in order to analyze things fully. So, I mean, I don't think there's any such thing as true fans. You either like something or you don't. There's like there's people that are more enthusiastic, and they're able to express themselves more or easier. But that doesn't mean that they're a true fan, and the next person that doesn't express it as much isn't. Like, if someone likes something and the next person likes it, they're both fans. There's no like level tier of being a fan of something. I don't think. It's a bit like, yeah, it's like in Star Trek. Like when Next Gen first came along, there was a lot of people saying, oh, you're not true Star Trek fans if you like Next Gen because it's not OG, it's not the original. And then it's like, it's still you can have your opinion, but I don't think it's right to diminish or exclude someone's opinion on something when they're within a fandom. You know, it's I'm not explaining myself very well, but like, how would I put it? It's like when someone says, I like apples, but I don't like oranges. That doesn't, it's like, oh, you hate all fruit then. Or, you know, it's like people jump from 0 to 100. It's ridiculous. Anyway. Each to their own, and everything has plus and minus. Yeah. No need to apologize, Maddie. You're on your off day. Every day's an off day, apparently. Right now, especially. Hopefully G6 will make this series better, to be honest, and hopefully this new series that comes out will stop the drama. Nothing's going to stop the drama and controversy. All fandoms have an ugly underbelly. They all have dramas. All have controversies. There's no getting around that. No new reiteration is going to fix it at all, sadly. You have to take the good with the bad, and there's fandoms that I just don't get into for that very reason. I'm just going to stay on the outskirts. You can be a fan of something without being in the fandom. That is possible. There are times when a fan base does say they don't like a thing without giving the new thing a try. People dropped off from Doctor Who when Matt started simply because he wasn't Tennant. Yeah. Where should I start with Doctor Who? I have no clue. I'm not a Doctor Who fan. Maybe Hasbro should stop making G4 stuff first. They have stopped making G4 stuff. I'm not sure. Okay. Anyway, let's get back to the drawing. Let's see. Can I... I don't know how... Well, they're going to make merch from all generations. Like, they still make G1 merch. So, that's not going to end anytime soon. They made a new card game based on G4. They know where the money really comes from. Well, yeah, they're a toy company. They have to make merch. It's not an evil thing. It's just how things work, sadly. I don't like the angle of this. It was starting to look like a Pokemon. Let's see. Oh. Come on. Dude. There we go. Let's see if I can just... Oh yes, that wonderful ancient meme that refuses to die. Oh, we've got to have money. Well, yes, we've got to have money. Money itself isn't evil. The love of money is the root of all evil. That's biblical. Money itself is not evil. I'm trying to see if I can... Okay, let's try again. Let's see if I can get just the head, and I'll figure out the body later. Okay. Being a fan is just that you enjoy something to the point that you feel connected to it and revisit it when you feel like it. I'm glad I'm supporting you, Mad Munchkin. I love your criticism and content you did with MLP related videos. I'm glad you're back. I never went anywhere. I've always been around. I haven't posted a new video on my channel for 8 months. I needed to take a break. I didn't start out exclusively doing MLP stuff. I've done content on various franchises. I've done Star Trek stuff, Disney stuff, and I've done The Simpsons. I've done all kinds of stuff. It just so happens that my MLP related stuff is the most popular stuff on my channel, and I do think that the stuff I did based on MLP is definitely the vehicle that helped me get like my channel get noticed for sure. But I don't consider myself an MLP YouTuber or MLP artist. I just am someone that will want to make content based on what I like, what I find interesting. So MLP just happens to be one of those things. Anyway. There's always money to be made from pony swag, that's neutral. I think there is, like, I completely agree with you. There's a danger in making your content based solely on one franchise anyway. I do 100% agree with you there. You have to be able to evolve, and like I've seen channels come and go, or channels that are still like dragging their feet, refusing to move on to another franchise, and it's kind of sad because like I feel like because I'm a critic, an analyst or whatever, I'm able to apply those skills to various things. I learned how to critique stuff in art school. I mainly learned how to critique and analyze art first, and then it went into film and cartoons, etc., etc. So I feel like I can apply that skill to anything. Therefore, I can jump from various franchises, and those skills are still there. What isn't there always is the enthusiasm or the love of the thing I'm talking about. That can be in different levels. And like you can hyperfixate on one franchise for so long, and that will give you the energy and the enthusiasm to talk about that thing. But once that thing dies out, you have to know, okay, what's the next thing? And for me, I felt it was important for me to know that I can jump from different things, not just one franchise. I can talk about Batman, Star Trek. I can talk about My Little Pony if I want to. You know, whatever I find interesting at the time. It's not just talking about what happens to be popular at the time either. Yeah, it's a learning curve for sure. So, but then there's also the danger of being too widespread, talking about too many different things, and then it's like you lose your identity. And I'm trying to keep my identity in whatever I talk about. It has to be something that I enjoy, that I like, I find interesting, and I can bring something new to the table. If I can't bring something new to the table, then I won't talk about it. If I feel that there's enough analysts talking about it already, I don't think I can say anything new, then I won't bother. That's why I haven't made a video about K-pop demon hunters. I probably never will. There's no point. To me, there is no point. Same with like the Spider-Man movies and stuff. So tell Blackjack. I don't know who Blackjack is either. You've brought Blackjack up before, and I don't know who that is. Okay. How was K-pop Demon Hunters after you first saw it? I didn't give it a fair chance, and I really regret not giving it a fair chance because it was just so overhyped, and a lot of it, the entire movie was spoiled for me before I watched it the first time, and it sucked. But the first time I watched it with friends in a call from start to finish, and I find myself crying at moments that I was not prepared for how much that movie emotionally wrecked me. It just kept like hitting home a lot, and it's so bizarre. And I really don't want to oversell it for people who haven't seen it, but it's something special, and I hope that everyone will give it a fair chance. I mean, it isn't perfect. There are things that I would talk about if I was ever to make a video about it, but I don't think I will. I don't think I need to. This is just going to be... I don't know what the other horn looks like. It's kind of hidden by her hair. Something I really appreciated about the flick is they don't undo the ending, like no fake out death, someone goes, they are gone. Let's avoid spoilers, please. I think I have an idea on okay, I need 1 second. I need to send my mods a message. Okay, it's fine. Where are you? Okay. Let's see. Blackjack is the main character from Fallout Equestria Project Horizons. Was there someone in the chat named Blackjack then? That's what I'm confused about. They brought up someone named Blackjack, but I don't remember seeing anyone called Blackjack in the chat, but I could be wrong. You know what? I need to put this somewhere else. I keep ducking my head. There was someone named Blackjack. Okay. Random. Can people still hear me okay? Because I had to move my stand. I know it wasn't a specific spoiler, but like you mentioned a formula, and that specific formula is very, very relevant to the K-pop Demon Hunter story, so it was kind of a spoiler. So yeah, you did kind of spoil that, so let's not do that, please. Anyway, that is literally a spoiler. Okay. You hear me fine? Okay, that's fine. Thank you. What is a Dooney? A Dooney is a Scottish fae. Maddie is a fae. And according to Scottish folklore, Dooney is kind of like a red cap. Hence, she has a red hat, but she can appear as a small humanoid, as she does on screen, or a horse, as she does in the pony content, or as an old hag. This is the old hag. No, I'm kidding. She doesn't have an old hag form unless you count my face. Asshole neighbours revving their engine as they drive past my window. Thank you. Do you have a favourite non-Disney Pixar animated movie? I think my favourite non-Disney Pixar animated movie, non-Disney Pixar, DreamWorks Megamind. I kept wondering if Pony Maddie had a horse. No. The horse form of Maddie is just a horse. She is specifically, if you want to go with the MLP lore, she is an earth pony. We're just going to draw her head, just to keep things simple. Don't count your face. I'm still ticked MLP's sister's show was delisted for a tax write-off. What? Okay. Yeah. Unless I'm missing it, I'm sad that my book on Scottish myths doesn't include Doonies. Yeah, they're not really in many stories. The name has been lost in translation. They're probably more known as brownies. It'd be weird if K-pop ended up winning an Oscar or two. I don't think it would be weird. It would be well deserved. I think. You liked how Mary Sue blasted her? Maybe that's what I'll draw. Like Mary's just looking so peeved. Just. Oh god, I can't write. Okay. Blah. 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 We'll add that later. Say, oh, thank you. Yes. Save your work. Thank you. Loppy. Drink. We're talking a lot. It's, I don't know who Dr. Horse is. Pony biology is a bleeding mystery. I don't mean to sound heartless. It's just that I don't know who they are, and so yeah. Sorry. I have water. I have a flask, and it has blue stickers on it. So yeah, and also a whole bunch of other stickers that are really cute. So. Dr. Horse, the guy from the... I'm sorry. Are you... Please don't let this be how I find out that Hugh Laurie's passed away. Please do not tell me that's happened. You better be bullshitting me. No. Oh my god. Guys. Seriously. Don't scare me like that, ever. No. What? And the character's name is House. I don't know who Dr. Horse is. Like, what? Why would... Dude, that... Oh my god. Why would you just randomly announce that? Like, when it's... What? I'm sorry, but frankly, what is wrong with you? Like, why would you do that? Okay. Moving on. My god. That was a very scary few seconds. I'm like... heaven forbid, learning anybody has passed away while live streaming, if it was one of my favorite actors, as Hugh Laurie is, I'm like, please don't let this be how I find out. Good lord. Why? Okay. Kind of bucktooth, okay. World travels fast on the interwebs. Yes. But I don't, like, you type Dr. Horse, and that is, as far as I know, just a character. And you say that they've passed away, but then you say the character from the medical show with the one that walks up with a cane, and made everyone think that Hugh Laurie had died. Like, these are real people, guys. Let's not make jokes about real people passing away, please. Like, if it was a joke, or if it was just a miscommunication, but even then, I'm trying to work out what you were trying to communicate with that. Like... I don't understand the logic behind the statement. So anyway, let's change the topic, huh? Jesus. Wow. Did not need that emotional roller coaster. May your marinara sauce never cling to your pasta. No cursing people in chat. Never mind, Maddie's doing it too. Loved Hugh Laurie on Blackadder 3 and goes for... Yes, he was fantastic in that. Anyway, but yes, like, I know I just did it, but yeah. This is the May the Mandalorian way. This is the way. Well, that's a little bit too sharp. I'm having fun. Wouldn't it be funny if Blissey just happens to join the stream and she's like, you joined my character! Like, no, she's not going to. She's getting ready for a trip to Europe. But, oh my god, that would be so funny. She'd be like, what are you doing? I'm like, chaos. Do you know how the character of Blissey came to be? No, you'd have to ask her that. Not my character. I I love that everyone is a big fan of Blissey, and that is awesome. But yeah, this is it's my channel, guys. Like, aren't you happy that it's me you're talking to? But no, everyone wants to talk about Blissey. I'm kidding. I don't care. It's I mean, I'm drawing one of her characters, so of course people are going to talk about her, and that's great. That's fine. But it's like, you're not here for me. You're only here because I'm associated with whatever. Oh, you finally finished the Wicked book? Yeah, that's why I'm like, they're selling that book to children. That is definitely not a good book for children to read. Just past the time skip. Ah, okay. Okay. So you're basically in the second half. Wow. Okay. Have fun. Tell me about how your character, Mary Sue, came to be. Mary was created as a one-off joke for the video I Hate Alicorn OCs that I made way back in 2013. Save your work, Maddie. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Control S. Yeah, I made her as a one-off joke because I was making a series of videos about character execution when it comes to creating your OCs based on a fandom or a franchise. And a lot of do you know how the character of Loppy came to be? No, again, you'd have to ask Blissey. It's her character, not mine. I'm just drawing it. But Mary was a character that's definitely evolved as a one-off joke into a character that I cannot exist without. She means a lot to me. There's a lot more depth to her than people realize. That's not really conveyed in the videos I make that have her in them. She plays like the comic relief character, or Maddie's flaw, or like most people will know her as the announcer in the TF2 Analysis Anarchy series, but Mary is very much like let's see how the best way to formulate this. Yeah, without Mary, I wouldn't still be doing YouTube. Without Mary, a lot of things that have happened would not have happened in my life. So Mary means a lot to me. So she can seem like, on the surface, it's like, you ever watch the movie Legally Blonde? And people see, God, what's her name? I can't remember her name. It's awful. Elle in Legally Blonde, she is like, on the surface she looks like a stereotypical Beverly Hills girl, like the blonde hair and the fancy dress and the makeup and carrying the little dog under her arm. You'd think, oh, like, because she looks like that, she must be really dumb. But Elle is crazy smart, and that's how she was able to get into law school and all that kind of stuff. But she's still herself. She's like, the personality is still there. Again, can we avoid all caps, please? Where was I? Yeah. If you've seen Legally Blonde, Mary is a kind of similar concept to Elle. There's a lot of different influences for Mary. there's a lot of Glinda in her. A lot of it is heavily inspired by Kristen Chenoweth, who is the original Glinda. She was very much like, yes, she was often used as the straw man in a lot of the videos, and when other people write her, I have to correct them sometimes. It's like she's not dumb to the point of it being that she's the butt of the joke. That's how she started, maybe, but as she's grown and evolved, it's like she knows the answers to everything when it's needed and when it's convenient, but she doesn't understand how or the why she got there. It's like she has all the knowledge in the universe because she can do anything and everything, literally, because she's Mary Sue, but she can't explain how or why. And it's I find it kind of difficult to explain that. She's, let's see, lawful neutral, if you want to assign her alignment. Lawful neutral, I would say. If you go with the TF2 canon anyway, she's definitely lawful neutral. In my own canon, she is chaotic neutral, but in TF2, she is lawful neutral. Anyway. She's the comic relief, but she's also like... When we had her in a video alongside Loppy, I think a lot of people anticipated that Mary would be on the same wavelength as Loppy and just be as unaware of what's happening as she is. But I'm like, well, no, actually, because Loppy is being obnoxious to the point of it being mean to Maddie. Maddie is Mary's best friend. So Mary would want to protect her best friend. So that was where I was coming from. Mary would just spawn into the same space and just get rid of Loppy as fast as possible. But then also be completely unaware of how similar they are in regards to how annoying their voice is. I like to think that a lot of what Loppy is what Mary used to be when I first created her. So, yeah. I don't know. Just, it's fun thinking about these kind of things. It's a character that's made up on Blissy's channel. To be fair, she's quite a recent creation. No, I like the pupils where they were. Yeah. That's fine. I just moderated 2 separate panels about Oz at a con this weekend. Wicked got its own panel just for fans of the movie and the play. Okay. Good for you. That's awesome. Yeah. I'm really excited for part 2. The next movie. Mary is helpful, annoying. Loppy is the type of not helping kind of annoying. Yeah, I guess. Despite it being Labor Day, I had work, so this stream makes it worth it. Awesome. Actually, let's make it this there. And then she's got a horn here as well, but I can't quite tell what's happening with the horn because the hair is covering it up, but I guess some guesswork can be used to figure that part out. I think that works. I think that works fine. Okay. Nope. No, because if just because I haven't seen what it looks like from the other side. Kind of looks like if AI art tried to generate this. No. Here's a tip. Never say that someone's art looks like AI when you've literally watched them draw it. Wow. Jesus. Okay. Oh man, alright. Oh, what's my favorite artwork I've ever done? I painted El Fauno from Pan's Labyrinth, or in English he's known as the Faun or Pan. And I mean, the painting itself isn't great, but it's my favorite piece of art I've done so far because the original piece of art is signed by my favorite actor on the planet that I met 2 weeks ago at a convention, Doug Jones, who played Pan, or the El Fauno, or the Faun in Pan's Labyrinth, one of my favorite movies ever. I'm going to show you. It's up on the wall right now, but I can take it down. Uno momento, por favor. Hello, now you can see the office and how messy it is. Come here, El Fauno. El Fauno. Okay. So, a couple of weeks ago, we were vending at Mad Monster Expo in Concord, North Carolina, which is where we live. And it's the first horror convention I've ever done. I say horror, it's like horror and pop culture. It's not all horror. And one of their guests they had Linda Blair there of all people. I'm like, wow, it's amazing. They had an amazing guest list. Linda Blair, for people that don't know, is she was the girl in The Exorcist. Doug Jones is my favourite actor of all time. Has been my favourite actor since I was 18 years old when I first saw the Hellboy movies. And from that, I moved on to all those other movies that he's been in. One of my favourite movies of all time is Pan's Labyrinth. It's an amazing film by Guillermo del Toro. And it's all in Spanish. It does not have an English dub. But it's still one of my favourite movies. And anyway, I painted the fawn. Let's see if I can get this in frame. This is acrylic and gouache. And let's see if I can get it in frame here. If I bring up OBS, I'll be able to see it. Yeah. So right here, that is Doug Jones' signature. And this is my favourite painting I've ever done. And this, I am never selling this thing. This is mine. Even got a certificate of authentication on the back. So, yeah. Never thought I would get to meet my favourite actor on the planet, so it was a really cool experience. So that is my favourite art piece I've ever done. It's not the best, but it is my favourite. How long did it take me to paint that? I painted that in a day, from start to finish. So probably in all times it probably took me about 5 hours. Labour Day is not a holiday in Europe, no, but Labour, that is the right way to spell it. Oops. It's just it's the same word, it's just not it's the American way of spelling it is Labor, but the Old English is Labour. It's the same thing. Anyway, it's just like how we spell colour with a U. Colour. It's the same word, it's just spelled slightly differently. It's different English. I've seen those on Instagram before. I was selling prints of this at the convention, and I have sold prints of it at other cons, and one person that bought one of the prints did come back to the table to show me that Doug had signed it in the exact same place as the painting, and I was very grateful that they came back. Thank the maker that Pan's Labyrinth was never dubbed. I need to correct you on that. So, although I did literally just say that there is no English dub, Pan himself was dubbed over. Doug Jones learned all the lines in Spanish, but obviously Spanish is not his first language, so Pan was dubbed over. Not the first time that he's been dubbed over, sadly. It's a very sore point for him. He said in several interviews about that very topic that he wasn't sore about Pan's Labyrinth, but he was dubbed over in Hellboy. He plays Abe Sapien in the Hellboy movies, and in the first movie he was dubbed over by David Hyde Pierce. I believe he's the actor more known as Niles Crane from the Frasier series. He's done a whole bunch of other stuff. He's a really amazing stage actor. Not sore about anything at all, but if you'll notice, if you ever watch the Hellboy movie, David Hyde Pierce is not credited, and that was because he requested to not be credited because he didn't understand why he was dubbing over Doug Jones's lines when he was perfectly fine. So in Hellboy 2, Abe Sapien is played by Doug Jones once again, and it is his voice. So, yeah, and then he was also dubbed over in Fantastic Four when he played the Silver Surfer. He was dubbed over, I can't remember the name of the actor that dubbed him over, but he was dubbed over then. So then he made it so he changed his contract so that if you want me to act in your movie, you get all of me, including my voice. So that's it. He's not dubbed over ever again. Why that man does not have a star on Hollywood Boulevard is a complete mystery to me. I mean, Jim Parsons has a star. Like, come on, dude. What? Not that that's not deserved, but if Jim Parsons can have a star, then Doug Jones can have a star. I have not seen the most recent Fantastic Four movie. Do you miss anything about living in the UK? I miss my family. I miss my friends. I miss the food. But I'm where I need to be. I'm where I should be. So, okay. At least the whole movie wasn't dubbed into English. I mean, the work that Guillermo del Toro does in regards to the work that he gets for people, it's that where their first language is not English. He's amazing. He's one of my favorite directors. Not my top favorite, but he is one of my favorite directors. Do you often go over to visit your family? It's hard. Since I moved, I've been home twice. And I moved 4 years ago. And I'll be going home again in December of this year. It's not cheap, I'm telling you that. Guillermo del Toro's most famous movie is his version of Frankenstein. I don't think that's out yet. Or if it is, I think it's coming out on Netflix. And I'm very excited about it. Jones also played the Death Angel in Hellboy 2. Yes, he did. I did a painting of that. He played Pale Man and Angel of Death in Pale Man in Pan's Labyrinth, and he played the Angel of Death in Hellboy 2 as well as the Chamberlain. And I can't believe they didn't let him do the dub in Hellboy 1. Well, he can't do a dub of his own voice, but I understand what you mean. You mean that they didn't use him for Abe, he got dubbed over. I understand what you're saying. Yeah, it was mainly for Hollywood for selling the movie. Let's slap on a big name actor. Because to be fair, at the time, Doug Jones was not seen as a big name actor. Now he's still kind of not getting the recognition that he should. But, Shape of Water, why that movie had how many nominations? And he got snubbed for best actor. I swear to God. And he said that during his panel at Mad Monster Expo. Not in so many words. He's the most humble man on the planet, but still, just why? I can gush about this man forever, but let's not. Okay, back to the drawing. The Muppets have a star. Why not Doug Jones? What's your main inspiration for drawing and creating art? My main inspiration for drawing art, it's where my heart is. I need to draw things. I need to create things because if I don't, it's like breathing. I don't think. I mean, I'd still be me if I didn't draw, don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't feel comfortable in my own skin. It's like an itch. I just have to draw stuff, because if I don't, then I don't feel right. I don't feel human. We're going for a bit of a rush job here. Del Toro's Pinocchio was groundbreaking. Yes, it really was. Save. Thank you. I use keyboard shortcuts. Content creation. I have to admit, I've experienced the worst burnout I've ever experienced since I've started making content. I haven't posted a new video in 8 months, and it is honestly, I just did not have the enthusiasm or the need or the joy in making content. I was making content for other people, like editing videos for them, but when it came to me, I just could not find the right thing to talk about. I have a video now that has been in the works for a while about House of Mouse, and I'm about halfway done with it, and I'm hoping that will help to smash my way out of this burnout, but we shall see. Take all the time you need. I appreciate your patience and understanding, guys, with content creation. It's not easy. Like for my content, I make everything myself. I do all the scripting, all the video editing, all of the research, and all of the gathering of all of the elements you're going to have in your videos. I do literally everything. So, and it takes a while. And this video is about 17 minutes long. It's not the longest video I've ever made, but because it's about a series, and there's 3 seasons to this show, it's like you have to kind of memorize every single episode when you're editing, so you know what clip to use when. So you're writing the script out, and you say a sentence, and then the clip you want to show that's associated with that sentence is from episode 10 from season 2 or something. You know, it takes a long ass time to get something like this done. I want to sit with my legs crossed, but I'm still wearing shoes. 1 second. Ugh. Let's try to get comfortable here. This is what people join the streams for. Seeing someone take off their shoes. There. There is a... I think I can say so without it saying spoilers. There is a project coming out soon on someone else's channel that I did the visual editing for. I'm not sure when it's going to be released, so I can't really say more about it, but that's taken a lot out of me in regards to content creating. So once that's released, people will understand why. Always wanted to create animated shows. It's a lot of work. That's not a one-person job either. How is everyone's favourite Scottish artist? I don't know. I think Jack Vetriano has died. I think he's passed on. It's the guy that painted the beach scene with the couple with the umbrella. That his name is Jack Vetriano. He was a Scottish artist. Like that's a in joke. Never mind. I'm not funny. Okay. Smart Alec. Yeah, I am a smart Alec. It's my channel. I can be smart or dumb. Tend to change the level of intelligence depending on how funny I want to be. Wonder what Blissy will think of this. I can hear Chris in the back screaming, "Yes, you are, woman." What's the most tired running gag you've had to deal with? Oh, goodness. Running gag. Is Mary a running gag? Mary's running gag is like, it's not so much a running gag, but it's like her catchphrase. She'd be like, "'Cause I'm Mary Sue." And that could be a running gag, I guess, but the thing with a running gag is it needs to build. There's a difference between consistency and repetition. Anyway, Frost trying to get everyone to compliment Maddie. That's not a running gag, it's just it's a form of torture, but it's not a running gag. I don't know. Oh, that doesn't look good. Okay, there we go. Do you ever get art or creative block? I was just talking about how I've experienced the worst burnout or creative block I've ever experienced, and it lasted since February of this year, and I feel like I'm only now starting to see the end of it. Oh, that looks awful. Wow. Jeez. When was the first time you drew both Maddie and Mary? Literally for the I Hate Alicorn OCs videos was when I drew them both. But if you're talking about an actual art piece, not a video. Probably 2014. When they're drinking tea together. What other fandoms am I in? There's the Star Trek fandom. I'm not really in a fandom, if that makes sense. Like, I'm a fan of a thing. You could be a fan of something and not be in the fandom. Like, but Star Trek, you know, I like Batman stuff. I'm a huge Disney fanatic. I like Fallout. I like Skyrim. I don't know. I don't really consider it. I am in this fandom. Like, no. Maybe she should meet up the original Mary Sue character from Star Trek fanfic in the 70s. No. No, thank you. There can only be one. There can only be one. I'm in no fandom. Okay, so this is where I have to change the colors here just a little bit. Can I just clear this stuff away? I don't need this. There, yes. Maybe Sue wrote that fanfic. I can believe that. But yeah, there can only be one Mary. So Loppy does have pupils. They're just very subtle. Okay. So if I do this, is the MLP version of Mary and Maddie the only time you've drawn them in this style? Is that the right word, of other shows? I've never really drawn them in other shows' styles. They've always been my style. I've had other people create them in the G4 style, but you know, the way that they're drawn here, but my style it's always evolving. It's always changing. Because you're always drawing styles never stay the same. They always change. Okay, this is gonna be a bit of a problem. Make it Highlander duel between Mary Sue and Mary Sue. Let's not. There. Let's fill this in. There. I think this is also my way of just throwing love at a friend, because it's a lot going to any convention, but it's a lot more when it's a convention on the other side of the planet. I know firsthand what that's like. Loppy's got pink eye. Yes, she does. Loppy. Maybe I'll draw Casper as well. I don't know. This might be the Loppy stream. Those eyes are so bright. Last piece of artwork is a butterfly on top of pink flowers, so just something for practice for fun. Yeah. That's something I have to remind myself, hey, because drawing art is my job, but it's also like drawing art is something that I also use to relax. So often that when I am trying to relax, I still end up drawing stuff for work. So then I end up exhausting myself. So it's, you know what, let's get rid of that and just do it like this way. Color. There. That's better. I've lost my train of thought. Never mind. Oh yeah, it's hard to relax when I'm drawing. I admire the bond, I think you mean, you have with Doug Jones now. It's completely parasocial. Like, I have a connection with him because I have admired his work since I was 18 years old. He has no clue who the hell I am. But it's like I've met him now, so I was able to tell him how much his work means to me, and you know, all this kind of stuff. So that's enough of a connection for me, and it can go in one way. That's perfectly fine. I mean, like the guy likes my tweets every now and then, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. It's like we forget that sometimes we put people on a pedestal, and then we forget that they are just another human being with the same struggles that we have. You know, it's interesting. Like for me, because I'm a content creator, I've been at conventions and people come to my table and they're like, they say things to me that I'm trying to not sound like a diva, but like genuinely people have said to me that there was one time someone came to my table and told me that they are vending at conventions and doing art full time because they watched my videos when they were a kid. And I'm like, wow, that's amazing. And it's like I said something similar to Doug Jones. I'm like, you were like, when I discovered your work, you were an integral part of me finding the courage to change the trajectory of my life because I've discovered your work. So yeah, it's acting. That's not my school of creativity. I cannot act to save my life. I can do voiceover, but that's about it. But I think it was more of a connection because of the fact we're of the same faith. We are both Christian. But he's very open about it, and that is a very unusual thing for someone in Hollywood to be. 'Cause there's a lot of because everyone knows a Frollo when it comes to Christianity. They think that everyone that's a Christian tends to be a Frollo. So they don't tend to say, some people don't tend to say that they are Christian because they're worried that people will immediately write them off. So I admire that Doug Jones isn't a Frollo, but I admire that he's very open about his beliefs and is very open about how, like, he plays monsters in movies and how a lot of Christians might be like, oh, you're not a true Christian because you're playing essentially demonic creatures. And so we had a very, very brief conversation about that very, very topic. And you know, I wrote him a letter, and he told me he read it. I asked him the final day of the con. In fact, I didn't even get the question out. He just said, yes, I read your letter. Like, okay. So, it's still a parasocial connection, I assure you, and that's how I want it to stay that way. There needs to be a level of disconnect, because the parasocial connection I feel for him is really strong, but his connection to me is like none at all. And I don't want to be one of those people that's chasing after something more than that. So you understand what I'm talking about. It's a similar thing with like meeting content creators. Like even like me, I'm live streaming. There's people in the chat that I'm really good friends with, and there's other people that I don't know, but they know me because they've watched my content. They know that version of me. You know, that's a parasocial connection. Like, friendships happen organically. I mean, there's artists that I've admired that I did consider heroes of mine, and I'm good friends with them now. But it happened organically. I didn't chase after it. It just happened. People, sometimes they just click. And that's awesome. But it can't be forced. Either. The best kind of Christian is not a snob about it. Jones isn't a snob about it. No. I would say that Doug Jones is a very sophisticated person, very intelligent, very talented, but I didn't get the vibe that he's not Hollywood in spite of living in Hollywood. He's definitely not Hollywood. But I also feel that's because of the scenario that resulted in him working in Hollywood. Like, he's known as the monster guy, and that's where his fame is. But I know, and he knows, that he is a talented actor when he's not in makeup. There's a fantastic movie called My Name is Jerry, which is arguably, if Abe Sapien is my top favorite Doug Jones role, Jerry is my second. It's not a big movie. It's just about a guy that's having a midlife crisis, and he discovers punk rock music, and because of that discovery, he is able to reconnect with his daughter, and his friend circle opens up, and he learns more about himself. He's not chasing after a romantic connection with someone. There is a connection with someone that he mistakes as romantic, but it's not. It's something else. It talks about how people can connect on an emotional level in a platonic sense that can feel even stronger than a romantic connection. And I love that there's a movie about that. It's an amazing movie that definitely needs more attention. How did you and Lightning come up with the latest Loppy video? We would throw ideas at the wall, basically, and based on true events, true interactions with people. That's what Loppy is. She is an exaggerated version of all of these scenarios we have found ourselves in when being talked at by people that don't understand social cues or don't understand how business works when it comes to talking to artists or content creators. That is essentially what Loppy is. And we had a couple of ideas, and it's like, excuse me, how we came up with this one. People really wanted Mary in one of the Loppy videos, and I wanted to make sure that we didn't just have Loppy and Mary together and it's just like two characters that are essentially exactly the same kind of annoying level. but that Mary would actually be the one to hop in and save the day. That would protect Maddie and Blissey from Loppy. Because Mary is not an evil character. She is a neutral character. She's neither evil or good. She's a neutral character. But in my mind, Mary is someone that would do anything and everything to protect her friends. So, yeah. Let's see. You know Loppy is bad if Mary is annoying. That almost never happens besides that time with Tightwad. Tightwad, that is another good example. Like, when we were discussing that, this is something I meant to bring up earlier in the stream. When other people are writing for my characters, more often than not, it's people that know me very well and therefore know my characters very well. It's very rare for me to have to correct people on how they write my own characters. And for the episodes of TF2 Analysis Anarchy that included Tightwad, those episodes were written by Finn the Pony. No notes. He got Mary spot on. And he didn't even ask or anything about, is this right? Is this how Mary would react? He just knew exactly how Mary was going to react. So that was incredible. And, oh, Blissey, hi, hon. Hey, yeah, we are drawing Loppy. And just talking about, like, interactions with people, like parasocial connections that people have with content creators or actors. I'm using examples of, like, when people that are fans of my work come to me to talk to me, or if I'm talking to someone that I admire, and knowing that, like, even after you have a parasocial connection with an actor or a content creator you absolutely adore, they don't have a connection with you. And for me, I like to keep it that way. I like to keep that separation in place because I feel that's healthy. But if something new grew from it, as it has happened for me with some people I have met, like if I go to a convention and there's an artist I have adored for a long time, I go and say hi and then we hit it off, then great. Other times it hasn't, but like usually it's an instant connection, which is awesome. For me, it's like I've grown and matured a lot since I was 18 years old, so it's like I could recognize that the connection that I had with Doug Jones specifically, I was trying to figure out, what is this? Why is this so intense? And I recognized fairly quickly it was not a romantic connection, obviously. It wasn't like any kind of weird attraction that way. It was completely platonic. I think it was that he was playing monsters in movies, but he's Christian, and being told from multiple sources that if you are a Christian and you're portraying monsters, these monsters are associated with paganism, etc., and in some circles of Christianity, anything that is not considered Christian is automatically demonic, which is a load of bullcrap, but that's how a lot of people that are brought up in a religious household are made to think. And so, because all secular content was banned in my household right up until I was 16 years old, I then discovered Doug Jones at that age, and that made me realize, oh, monsters aren't demonic. They're not evil. These are, like Abe Sapien, he's a good person. He's a beautiful person. He's good. And I'm like, huh. Then I learned that Doug Jones himself is a Christian, and it kind of made me feel like I finally have some kind of, like, permission to be weird, to like the things I like. There's nothing wrong with me liking monster movies or horror movies. I can like this kind of stuff and still be Christian. And he was the first example that I came across that proved that to be true. So it took a while for me to understand that connection. It wasn't it was a release, like a freedom, and he was part of that story. So I'm glad I was able to have the opportunity to tell him that. But I still want to keep that segregation there, that distance. I don't want the connection to be any more than that. If it does happen, then great, but if it doesn't, I'm at peace with that as well. That's where it needs to be. So I hope I've made myself clear about that. So why we're talking about, like, interactions with fans can be very intense, and I know what it's like on both sides of the table. So I didn't want to be the cringe fan. You know? Yeah. And this is not to be disrespectful to any religious people in the chat. You know, I'm just talking from my own personal experience, because whatever your faith is, it's a personal thing. It should be, if you believe in God, God gave you free will, therefore you can believe in whatever the heck you want. So it's choice. You shouldn't be forced into believing something that you don't agree with. So anyway, you were the fan you wished you met? Well, I don't know. We'll see. I get a bit paranoid going over and over in my head what I did. But was I annoying? You know, did I speak to him too much? Did I take up his time too much? You know, I do worry about that. But you can't rehearse things over and over in your head. It's like it's already happened. You can't fix it. So, yeah. Because there is other actors that I want to meet. Like, it'll be interesting. But it was in a convention environment. That's a safe environment for both parties. I think that's the best way to meet actors, or people that you admire, is at conventions, because a lot of people are there for the same reason. They're getting paid to be there, and you're paying for the privilege to meet them, but that payment is providing their security, and they need that when they're at a convention, because sadly, as I've experienced, there are people that they don't realize it, but they often make people feel unsafe. So there has to be a level of security there. Anyway, ironically, in spite of the fact that James Woods' voice is my favourite character, I don't want to meet him. And it's not the whole don't meet your heroes thing. It's that James Woods himself is not a nice guy. Really not. So, and that I would like to just keep it that way. If the opportunity arose, like if he happened to be at a convention, then I'm like, no, I don't think I would. No. I think it would be nice to just keep that distance. I like the characters he plays. Himself, I can't stand his political stance. And the stories I've read about how he interacts with people that are fans of his work are mostly negative, so I'm like, okay, let's just not go there then. William Wright, thank you for your donation of $5. My favourite scene with Abe is in Hellboy 2. It's when Hellboy learns he likes a princess and they drink beer and listen to Barry Manilow. My favourite line from that movie is when Hellboy they're watching Liz sleep, which is kind of creepy, but he's like, I would die for her. Hellboy's like, I would die for her, but then she also makes me do the dishes. And then Abe, who is completely drunk off of like just a couple of cans of beer, just says, I would die and do the dishes. Perfect. Kindness to a fault. Get you a man that will do the dishes. Or a partner that would do the dishes. No kidding, you don't want to meet James Woods. No. No, thank you. Some celebrities can be unpleasant to their fans, which is not right in any way. Well, it's like... I'm saying now that, like, I don't want to ever meet the guy, but if the opportunity ever rose that if he was going to be a guest at a convention, because, like, the 30th anniversary of Hercules is in a couple of years, and I'm like, I wonder what they're going to do for that. Well, because, I mean, Susan A. gonna take Donovan do conventions, so I'm like, well, James Woods has never done a convention to my knowledge. Would he ever do one? Like... Would people want to meet him? Probably, yes. But he's only really known in that kind of circle for a handful of roles. I've got good stories of when I'm meeting celebrities, and I've got bad stories too. When it's not that anything bad happened, it was just that you meet a celebrity at a convention and their social battery is clearly dead. So, sadly, the interaction's not at the level you would have hoped it to be. But, I mean, people are people, they only have so much energy in a day. And if they're meeting hundreds of people within 5 hours and they have to keep that energy up, they're going to have to, like, die down eventually. I was lucky enough that John Delancey, for instance, is clearly an introvert, and I know some people have stories of when they met him he was like really tired and low energy, and yeah, he's an old man. He's a grumpy old man. But I was lucky enough when I first met him, I was the first in line, and so he had just arrived, clearly had just had coffee or whatever, and was in a really good mood. So I had a really good interaction with him. We were talking about my tattoos and stuff, and, you know, he was telling stories about going on a weird camping trip with Leonard Nimoy back in the day, and all this stuff that they were talking about, and yeah, it was like, okay, so you're basically just the eccentric grandfather figure. So that's awesome. On the topic of Hercules, what would you do if you meet Gerald Scarfe? Oh wow, yeah, that would be a good interaction. I know that he is very gruff, very to the point, very blunt, and if he doesn't like you, he will say so. But that's kind of what I like about him. There's no bullshitting with Gerald Scarfe. If he doesn't like you, he will say so. You know? Like, I can't stand fake people, you know? At least with him, he's straight with you. So, but yeah, he would be interesting to me, I think. Yeah. I would like that. Maybe get him to sign my Drawing in Blood book, which is still in the UK. That's one of the books I really want to bring back with me when I fly home in December. I'm on the wrong layer. Ah! No! Why? Get rid of that. There. I'm going to blame James Woods for that. We were talking about James Woods and I ended up drawing on the wrong layer. It's his fault. Why do we even have that layer? I know, right? Yeah. This is nice, guys. Just sitting, chatting and drawing silly characters and just having a good time. I have both intro and extrovert, you mean, For instance, I can be on my computer for hours on end. On the other hand, on my trips, assuming we could stick close to one another, I could talk with hikers also for hours on end. So there is such a thing as being an extroverted introvert and an introverted extrovert. Like, you can, like, be in a crowd of people, and if you're an introverted extrovert, being around people, you'd be like, yay, I'm around lots of people, that is awesome, and you're really excited, but for a short period of time, and your energy will just drop suddenly without warning. And then you can be an extroverted introvert as well. It goes both ways. Met Black Griffin, total sweetheart. Apparently he watches my stuff to cheer himself up. Was a shocker for me. I just wanted to get his signature, get in and get out, unlike with John Delancey or Bonnie Zachary. An ambivert, or is that different? I'm still learning. I have no idea what ambivert is. Never met Black Griffin. I don't really follow his stuff, to be honest with you. I know who he is, but I'm not a fan. I wouldn't call myself a fan. So yeah. I remember the first time I met Saberspark. That was cool. But that was that a convention? I think it was a Brony convention. I think it was one of the Brony cons. And me and Silvercrow were just talking. And then I mentioned, I really want to go meet Saberspark, but I don't want to be standing in line for ages. And he was like, oh, we can just jump the line. He won't mind. Because Silvercrow and Saberspark know each other really well. And I felt like I was taking advantage of that. But no, Silvercrow just grabbed my hand and just took me over to the line. Asked if we could meet, get a quick chat. And yeah, they did. And yeah, Saber is awesome. Very down to earth. We got a picture together. And I didn't know this because my brain was in a cloud. But after my boyfriend, now husband, is proposed to me at a convention, apparently Saberspark hugged me. I do not remember this happening at all. But like, they told me, no, I congratulated you. I hugged you and everything. I'm like, I do not remember that. I'm sorry. I do not remember. I was like, hey, lots of people were hugging me that day. I do not remember. Save your work. Thank you. Yes. But again, these people, they are just people. I think for me, I'm definitely introverted. And my social battery runs out very fast. On saying that, if I'm around the right crowd of people, I'm very happy. But if I'm in the crowd of people and I don't know them, then I'm like, oh, this is going to be hard. We're getting there. We're close to being done, I think. I think it comes with practice though as well. Like, I can get very hyper around certain people, but then I can be very deadpan and stoic, and people can often misinterpret that as I'm done with being social, and that's very much a part of being on the spectrum. It's I don't emote well, I know that. So I'd say I learn more toward being an introvert. If I'm at a party, I do typically have to get to somewhere quiet a few hours to fix it. So you're the kind of person, when you go to a party, you're like, okay, is there a dog here? Is there a cat here? That's what definitely I was like. If I'm at a house party, I'm like, is there a dog? Is there a cat? I want to hang out with the cat. The hug from Saber wasn't caught on video. They just told me that I think I was like on my way out the door. Like the panel had ended, and I was trying to make my way out the door because we wanted to escape for a minute or two. To absorb everything that just happened. Because, I mean, he proposed to me in front of 600 people. So, yeah, we needed a minute or two just to gather ourselves a bit. I'm not sure I like how close this purple is to this blue, but I'm trying to make it work. You might hear my husband in the background. He's in a call as well. There. Nope. Why does Loppy look so cute? Because she is cute. Why do I do this? Because marketability? I don't know. There. I'm glad you're here, Blissy, because I was like thinking, hey, we're drawing this and it's just sending you some love because you're going to a convention on the other side of the planet soon, and you know, it's just sending some positive vibes your way because it's not easy. So yeah, that's why we're doing this. Okay, kids, stay in school. Don't be like me. I market cringe. No, that's not what I meant. No. No, that's not what I meant. What's the meaning of life? 42. The answer to the question of life, the universe, and everything. Any Douglas Adams fans in the chat? It is a lovely number, 42. Yes, it is. It is a lovely number. 42. Everyone's just saying 42 now. It's not an invitation to spam the chat with 42. And a towel! Yes! I need to learn how to stop this from happening. There. Oh, missed a bit. Okay, there. This is gonna sound weird, and please don't take this the wrong way, Blissy, but there's a lot of Mary in that smile. Can you see it? Save. Yes, thank you. I have saved my work. The keyboard shortcut, Control S. Oh, goodness. That's funny. Or maybe it's just like, oh no, no. Maybe if you make her eyes derpy. Oh, yeah. I thought her eyes were kind of derpy, but you're right. They need to be more derpy. Let's see if we can make... Oh, that's scary. There. They have a swirl. Oh, okay. Swirl. A swirl. Okay. Swirl. How's that? Does that work? The empty sockets stare into my soul. Perfect. Yay! Okay. So now we're actually giving Loppy depth. Like, what? Yeah. I'm gonna give her depth. Let's do a dark green shadow. I don't know if this is gonna look weird or not, but let's do it. Yeah, that works. Okay. Blissy, I have the... Do you have an angle of Loppy from the other side so I can tell what's happening with the other horn? Not the white horn, but the other one. Like, is it just a straight up horn? Maybe you can send it to me on Discord. That would really help me out. I know you can't see it in my drawing anyway, but if I wanted to draw her again from a different angle, I need to know what that horn looks like. Yes, I do want to. Yeah, I thought you did. I just literally took this reference from your DeviantArt. I wasn't sure if you were just wanting some time to yourself before your trip. I appreciate you dropping by my stream, though. You're awesome. Okay. Let's see. I don't know if I like this, actually. The shadow, the green. It's a bit too dark. Yeah, it's a bit too dark. Okay. In spooky season. Oh, yeah, it is just straight. Okay. That's helpful, thank you. She's the embodiment of that fan base of social ineptness, awkwardness, narcissism, entitlement, etc. Yeah, so, like, obviously, like, not all fans are like that. Like, it's a small minority. Like, I mean, I've witnessed it with, like, I mean, I'm a YouTuber. I know I have fans. Like, people will come to me and I've experienced the good and the bad and the ugly. But it's a small minority. And more often than not, I like to think that I'm able to handle it. I think the thing that freaks me out a bit is when fans flirt with me. I don't like that. I really don't like that. Not just because I'm married, but it's just... No, that's... No. Just a big no-no. To be fair, it's only like, at least from when I'm aware it's happening, it's only happened twice. Like, that I'm aware that it's happening and it is freaking me out. And both times it's like, if they say something about, oh, they think I'm attractive, and I'm like, well, my husband would agree with you. That usually stops it. But, yeah. Ugh. But no, not all fans are that way inclined. It's just like there's the right way where when you're meeting someone that you've admired for a long time, it can be very intimidating. Like, I know firsthand. And I like to think that I'm approachable, I think, but I know that I can sometimes come off as very abrasive, and I'm working on that. So sometimes, like, fans don't come to me, and I that's perfectly fine. It's up to them. But other times, people I've experienced, a very small minority, that don't understand boundaries. And Loppy is a character that is an exaggerated version based on stories of our personal experiences with people that don't understand boundaries or social cues or etiquette when it comes to speaking to an artist that you want to buy art from. So, yeah. Let's see, you've got this here. I hope this is making sense. Don't like that. A bit too feathery. Why is this sky blue? It's not. It's light refraction. That our eyes perceive as the colour blue. Normally when I'm a fan of someone, my first reaction is to keep a distance, maybe get an autograph, thank them for what they do and move on. I admire from a distance. Yeah. I try, but I also try that if I feel the need to communicate something that I think this is my only opportunity to do so, then I will be a bit more forward. I know I will be like, I was like that with Doug Jones, but I felt that I conducted myself in a way that didn't come across as too intense. Because I went to speak to him 3 times. And, I mean, he hugged me every time. So I'm like, okay. I like to think that if a celebrity is uncomfortable with an interaction, they have staff to take control of the situation. Well, no, this is it. I mean, like, Dr. Wills is my favourite YouTuber, but he's one of my closest friends now. But that was organic. That I didn't force that. He didn't force that either. It just happened over time. And that's the way it should be. But it's not going to happen every time you meet someone that you've admired. That I'm very lucky from that to have that. But I will never take that for granted, and I'm never going to expect that for every time I meet someone I admire. And for me, because the parasocial connection to Doug Jones is so strong on my part, I have to keep a healthy boundary there. So, and be very clear with people it's a completely parasocial, completely platonic connection. It's just a very intense emotional connection in regards to what happened in my life when I discovered his work. So there is that line. It happened over time and he initiated it. Someone who I admired happened to admire me too, and this has happened for a lot of people I now call friends, even with Maddie. Yeah. Is he a real doctor or does he just play one on TV? Dr. Wolf is not a qualified psychiatrist, if that's the question you're asking. No, he's not. If you have pets, do they get in the way when you work? My cat is demanding attention again. We have a dog, but he is a service animal. My husband is a disabled veteran, so we have a dog for his disabilities. So the dog never gets in the way of my work, ever. He is very highly trained. And it's very rare for him to come into my office. It's very rare. My old dog would come in the office all the time, but this one, no. He just stays beside my husband all the time, which is where he needs to be. You have to make a relationship organic over time, and that can take a while. Yeah. What's the speed of dark? What's the speed of light? What's the speed of dark? It's a good question. These are the questions that keep people up at night. What is the speed of twilight? Ah, well, now we're getting really complicated questions. It's like, what is the primary function of a rubber duck? Like, do these questions have answers? What is the speed of an unladen swallow? Yes. That's the answer to the question. Yes. But it's an interesting discussion that we're having about like social etiquette when it comes to like this applies to anybody you meet online. Why are you coming through that colour? What? Hang on. I need to fix this. What the heck? Okay. Why? Normal. Okay. That'd be why. Okay. That was weird. I don't know why you did that. That was weird. Okay. Weirdly, there's been rubber duck helping to understand. Oh, what? Okay. Not every Brony fan is in love with other Brony fans. Usually it's just an acquaintance sort of thing. Well, yeah. It's... There's a camaraderie there when you meet fans, other fans of a thing you like. There is an instant camaraderie. But again, just because you like the same thing doesn't automatically mean there will be a friendship forming. That it's not guaranteed. One's never alone with a rubber duck. Very true. I mean, every now and then I still say ew bronies because it's a running gag. I mean, I'm literally married to one and I'm one myself, so it's like people don't understand the joke. It's like self-deprecation. It's like, ew, Trekkies. Like, ugh, gross. It's like, ew, Scots. Ugh, gross. Ew, nerds. A nerd. There. Right, get rid of this gradient. This is stupid. There. Nerd. Oh, wow. Are you not... Oh. Okay. There's a lot of screw-ups in this Coloring. Wow. Okay. Fixing. It's not perfect, but it is what it is. So now... Thank you for the reminder of saving my work. Okay, so I think we can... There's shadow here, shadow there, and then shadow on here as well. Okay. I've got the Rubber Ducky song in my head now from Sesame Street. I haven't played Prance since goodness. I haven't played Prance since 2021. It's not really a game I like, if I'm perfectly honest. I'm not a competitive person. What? I will admit you look great as Lightning Bliss. What? What does that mean? What? Oh boy. Quiz, are you still online? Oh, wait. You have. You have. Oh, that's a good question. Is Loppy Screwball's sister? I don't think so, because Loppy is technically a hologram, but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, Cartoon Retro Boy, what do you mean by I will admit you look good as Lightning Bliss? What the hell does that mean? I am not Lightning Bliss. I'm not trying to look like Lightning Bliss, so I'm not sure where this statement came from. Or Screw Loose. No. They're not related. Yes, Loppy is her own abomination, just like Mary is my own abomination. But now we know who would win in a fight. We know it's Mary, because whenever Mary's in a fight, she automatically wins because she's Mary Sue. But, like, who is more annoying, Loppy or Mary? I think they're both annoying, just in different ways. Honestly, I think your super form of lying is cool as heck in the TF2 Analysis Anarchy video. If I'm lying, I'm crying. It's really peak fiction. Okay, I'm glad you enjoy it. But yeah, I still haven't answered my question, but okay. It's one of those. Alright. I'm glad people enjoy the TF2 series. That is awesome. I appreciate that. Yeah. But as for my own content, I will have a video about House of Mouse up hopefully within the next week or so, I'm hoping. But we shall see. There's also a video I'm hoping. Well, I mean, both of you look pretty good equally. Yeah, but you said that. Okay. I don't know why I'm getting hung up on this, but I'm just. Yeah. It's not important. Whatever. Imagine the Maddie Lion versus Loppy. Oh god. Could we have yeah, it's still not making any sense, but yeah. Let's keep it. No, we don't have to keep it to my stuff. It's just people know me from other people's content. I collaborate with a lot of other people. It's perfectly fine, but I'm still trying to circle it back to like the content that I make on my own channel. Like that exists. That's a thing I still do. So yeah. But yeah. Okay. Could Mary Sue's creator defeat Mary Sue? That is what we call a paradox. I made you and I can break you just as easily. Loppy versus Maddie Lion. Honestly, Maddie Lion would dominate, but Loppy is a hologram, so not a fair fight. I mean, it would still be very therapeutic for Maddie Lion to destroy Loppy with her flame breath. Are holograms fireproof? Like, if there was ever an episode of A Moment with Dr. Wolf with Loppy, and it's just like Maddie Lion, best form of therapy, exposure therapy, and just flames at Loppy. Oh man. Exposure therapy, fire, yes. Oh god, that would make an amazing comic. Wow. We need to bring Maddie Lion back. Or even have her outside of TF2. Like, bring her back. Like, let's have her back. How would I implement that, though? Into my own channel? She only exists in the TF2 canon. Maddie, do you consider baby monitors a form of wiretapping? Damn it, Deadpool fan! That's hilarious. Sadly, like, I don't think I can bring Maddie Lion back into my channel. She never was on my channel. She was in the TF2 series. So, the super forms were very much an invention of that series. So, I don't think I could make that make sense outside of the TF2 canon. But I could bring her back. That's very true. You could do that. Oh no! Yeah, we're having ideas on things that okay. Maddie's your character. I'm sure they would not mind you using the line. That's not what I mean. It's my character, yes, but the way that she was brought into existence canonically would not make sense on my own channel, because story-wise, the super forms are like they only exist in TF2 Red versus Blue. They were, for me, Maddie line was only invented for that storyline. I didn't come up with that myself outside of that. So for me, I don't think it would make sense for her to exist outside of TF2. I have a unicorn. I have an alicorn OC. I can overrule this rule. I mean, Mary Sue exists. But I don't want her to be a Deus Ex Machina all the time. So, yeah. To be fair, the Lion Superform could be used only rarely too, because you don't need to use it often. Again, that's not the point. It's... For me, it has to make sense. And this is not my own invention. This was a TF2 thing. So, yeah. I'm not articulating myself very well in explaining why this wouldn't work, but you are right. We could bend the rules, I know, but that means breaking the writing, and I don't like doing that. Thanks for hanging out, Luke Alford. It's about getting a stickler for lore to find a reason. It's almost like I'm an analyst or something. I wanted to see Mary riding the Maddie lion around. Damn it. No! Stop giving me ideas! But it's fun to break writing. It's not, though! It has to make sense. In a narrative sense. We are breaking the narrative. That hurts my brain. Honestly, there's things about a good Superform video of TF2 is have jokes, the funny, the humor. It's sort of like, oh my god, you're so random. I can't make sense of what you're saying. I'm sorry. Oh my god. What? My brain. I can't. Okay. What? Anyway. You could always have Mary summon her for comedy. But that's using Mary as Deus Ex Machina. Mary can do anything and everything, so therefore, to solve a problem with any story writing, let's just have Mary snap her fingers, and it's like, this happened because Mary. Like, whenever you notice something like that, an alicorn did it. You know? God damn. Oh, wow. Okay. Loppy and Mary, no magic. Just fisticuffs. Mono, you mono. Let's go. So if she was in her alicorn form, and she was in a fight against Loppy, and the rules are no magic, I think Loppy has the edge. I hate saying that, but Mary is not a physical fighter. She's just not. She doesn't look anything like Princess Cadence. Oh my god. No. Okay. Sorry. Doesn't look anything like Cadence. Wow. Okay. Huzzah! I am best. We'll see. Mary's like, is that what we were fighting over? Damn it! By rules of comedy, the fight would cut to black, and when lights came back, Mary would be standing over one already. It's like when this kid. Yes, I understand. Oh my god. It's. I can't handle the whiplash of statements being made that some make complete sense, and then other times I look at the chat and something's posted and I'm like, how did you get from A to Z? What happened? Did I space out? Like, did I just like disappear off the plane of existence for like a few milliseconds? Like, oh goodness. Okay. All right. Oh man. People are weird, but I should point out, I am the lizard queen. There's being weird, but then there's being so random that you break the universe. I'm going to say right now that, like, I appreciate that people enjoy TF2. I'm in it. I've voiced characters in it. I've written episodes of it. But can we please remember that the live stream is happening on my channel and I have my own content. And I feel like sometimes that it's all about TF2 and it's kind of starting to make me very uncomfortable if I'm being frank with people. So can we move on from TF2? Like, please. God damn. Oh, okay. Wow. Whew. Okay. Okay. I have made myself clear. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, I was trying to say earlier about the content I've got coming. I've got House of Mouse video, which is kind of more of a... It started as a review for House of Villains, and then it kind of grew into a whole video about House of Mouse in general. And I'm hoping to have that finished very, very soon. If not soon, then it will be the October Halloween video. The 28 Pranks Later review. Yeah, that was years ago, but I'm glad you enjoyed it. Have you seen the latest Asterix miniseries? I have. It's bloody brilliant. I loved it. It was so good. I tweeted about it, and I didn't really have the motivation to make a video about it. But, no, it was really good. I grew up on the Asterix comics, and I really love the animated movies based on the comics. I think my personal favourite is Asterix, the 12 Tasks of Asterix. That's my favourite. I really enjoyed Mansions of the Gods. Secret of the Magic Potion was bloody fantastic. Loved that one. And the series is really good as well. So, yes. I'm goth. Yes. That had me rolling on the floor. That was so funny. I am goth. Like, they had the German... Like, yeah, it was great. I mean, that particular scene did kind of drag, but the moment she said, I am goth, and she's actually like a modern day goth instead of a German, I'm like, yes, that is so damn funny. I love it. Maddie should get a home dimension like Bliss has. How do you know I don't? How do you know I don't? Huh? What do you think all of the blue and white stuff is? Rather be a vampire or a werewolf? In my current playthrough of Skyrim, Elder Scrolls, I am a werewolf. So, I guess my choice is werewolf. I'm loving this expression on Loppy. Loving it. Oh, goodness. Oops. Okay. New layer. Ah woo. Yes, indeed. Ah woo. Ah woo. Alright. Loppy is more derpy than derpy. Oh, excuse me. Merge. Why can I not merge those layers? Layer. Merge layer. Why is that grayed out? Okay, just group them together then. That's weird. I mean, like, I try to not let people RP in the chat, but I'll let some things slide, considering I'm drawing your character and it's you that's RPing them, and you know you're gonna keep it. I know you're not gonna like take over the chat with it, so that's fine. But it's when other people do it and take it too far. That's a problem. She's nothing like Patrick Star. Absolutely nothing like Patrick Star. Like the comedic characters, their personalities are completely different, and the characters themselves serve a completely different purpose. So, to me, I don't see the parallels. Have you ever jumped off your roof trying to fly? I live in a 3-story building, so I'm gonna say no. A random question. Okay, let's bring some light on the subject here. Let's do green. I don't know, the lighting on her I feel needs to be green. I don't really understand why, but that's just the vibe that I'm getting and feeling. So that's what I'm going with. Overlay. You're not going to see it as like loud green or anything. It's color balance, color theory. It's a load of nonsense, but yeah, that's what I'm going with. There. Maybe because green is purple's contrast on the color wheel. Yeah, but I don't often go for the opposite contrast color on the color wheel for light color. I don't know. Goodness. There we go. Okay, so here is my version of Loppy. And I'm going to do a thing. Give her a black outline. How does that look, Bliss? No stroke, stroke. Let's see. Is it bad if I like a modern season of a show better than an older season of a show? I don't think so. She's adorable, yes. I need to sign it, so let's do that. I mean, it does depend on the show, of course. The thicker lines make her look more cartoony, which is a good thing. Yes, okay. Some shows really hit their stride later in development, like TNG. Yes, absolutely. TNG didn't hit its stride until like halfway through season 2. The first season was so awkward. It's still trying to find its feet. And to be fair, I don't think TNG found its feet until season 3. Okay, you can like SpongeBob. Like, I know that we've been in other streams where you brought up SpongeBob randomly when no one else was talking about it, but like everyone likes what they like. Yeah, great. Okay. It's just that, like, when people bring up a completely different topic of conversation, it forces other conversations, or the main conversation, to a grinding halt. And, like, I know people like to steer certain conversation topics in a certain direction, but this is... it's annoying, frankly. So, yeah, let's... Yeah. Let's stay on topic, please. Oops. Okay, so we have done Loppy. I think we can stream for a little bit longer. I think we've been streaming since 7 p.m. It's now 9:41. So I've been streaming for about 3 hours. I think we can still keep going. So, is there another character people would like me to draw? Maybe, because we've drawn Loppy, maybe we can draw Casper Pie. Or, I mean, or we can draw Mary. Or, I don't know, help me make a decision, guys. What I should do. I mean, you could have Loppy and Mary. Like, I don't know. Casper. You want Casper? Okay. Casper cake. Can you send me a reference of Casper cake? Well, Curtain Retro Boy, if you've been told by other people, then make the change, and then it won't keep happening. Yeah, sure. Did I ask you to send me a reference? I'm sorry, my brain did a fart. Did I ask you to do that? I mean, that would work, like... Oh, that's a good face. Oh, God. How's that going to look in my style, though? How am I going to make that work? Okay, let's see. Do you have, like... Can you send me just a neutral face? Because I think I'll struggle trying to translate that expression into my style. Thank you. Let's hide you. Loppy, you're gonna hide for a little bit. Save. Oh, glad you got your internet back, Cosmin and Spyro. That's good. Okay, so we need to get better lighting in here. Like get a ring light to go up there, or something. Or maybe I need a new webcam. This is a very old camera. So, I don't know. I'd like to remind everybody, I am open for commissions. And if you are interested in placing an order, you can do so by going to my Twitter or Instagram, or even my Facebook if you're old. And you can place an order that way. You can find links to that in the description below, or if it's not there, then I just lied to you. But you'll be able to find links to my social media on my YouTube channel. I will draw anything as long as it's safe for work. Pet portraits, OCs, fantasy concepts, anything. Literally anything. I will draw for you. For coin. Toss a coin to your artist. Maddie, do you ever wonder if there was running water in Beauty and the Beast, someone may have turned into a sentient toilet? Oh my god! That's gross. This is like sausage party logic applied to Beauty and the Beast, where you have a sentient Arger? Is that what it is? A sentient organ, sentient Arger, as in the oven. So that is like fixed into the floor and the wall of the castle. So you would think that would apply to other things. But then the things that are made sentient used to be people. So that was their job when they were human. That's what it corresponds to. It's not just taking like a random household object and suddenly it's alive. It's this person was the chef, so now under the curse, they are now the literal oven. If you know your history, you know that it was some servant's job to clean up, essentially. Because indoor plumbing wasn't a thing during the timing of when Beauty and the Beast was set. So it wouldn't be a literal toilet. They literally did their business into a hole in the ground, people. Or into a chamber pot. So the only way that, I mean, could someone be turned into a sentient chamber pot is if their only job was to empty said chamber pot. Oh my god. But then it's like, but you had sentient spoons and sentient forks. What were their jobs? Like I can't. Why are we talking about this? Like, oh, sentient toilet. Like, what? The questions that I get asked, and my brain is like, let's make sense of this. How would this work if this was an actual thing? Like, what are the rules here? Why am I talking about the rules about sentient toilets? Like, oh my god. Why do we ask these questions? Because I'm on Facecam and people want to see my reaction. Could you see Disney doing a live action Hercules? That's in the works already. That has been in the works for a while. And there's a rumour that they're not actually making Hercules, but they're making Hades. You know, along the same pipeline as the Maleficent movies. And I had to speak about this very briefly in my House of Mouse video. But basically, I am praying to my god that they don't make Hades a victim of circumstance like they did Maleficent. Even though, technically speaking, Hades was a victim of circumstance in his backstory. But I'm just... If you make a movie about Hades, there's not really all that much to tell to fill a movie's runtime. You know? So, yeah. So what if someone turned into a chamber pot? Let's drop this conversation. This is just it's too gross. It's making me uncomfortable. Okay. Okay, let's see. And besides, the Beast had been transformed since he was 11 years old. He was slowly turning into, like, losing all of his humanity, turning more animal than human. So I don't think he was using a chamber pot. Oh my god, why? I don't think Cruella was nonsensical. I think that is actually... I think it was actually quite a good movie. I made a video about it. Yeah. People are cringe. What was the question? Who was that evil pipe organ before they got turned? He was a manservant, wasn't he? Or like some kind of court performer of some kind. If I remember right. The court musician. That's who he was. One of the many roles where Tim Curry was underutilized. Swear to God. Like, Tim Curry, why? Does Casper Pie have a beard? Like a little blue beard? Is that what that is? Yes, he does have a little blue beard. Okay. Goatee. Okay. It's a doodle stream. I am open for commissions, but I'm not working on commissions in the stream, if that makes sense. If you want to place an order, you can send me a message on my Twitter or Instagram to place an order. I am checking a thing. Oh, for goodness sake. I'm trying to keep the line, and you keep crossing the line. Stay behind the line, please. Sorry. The line must be drawn here, this far, no further. It's alright, guys. It's just something happening on Facebook, and I'm like, I don't know how to handle it. It's a good thing, but still, I'm like, no, I don't deserve this. Okay. I'll talk to my friends about it later. It's all good, nothing bad, but not something I should let the general everyone know. I think I might be reading too much into something anyway. No, I don't. No, you'll understand if I tell you. No, I don't. Maddie, if there were only 2 adult male lions in the Lion King... You know how I said to the cartoon guy about the randomness? It's getting to that point. So let's people can be funny, and that's great, but there's some level of randomness that you're making me uncomfortable. So let's not go down that avenue. God, okay. Oh my, okay. I mean, the sentient toilet, that was as far. It's No, let's not go further than that. Okay. Oh, she's on facecam. Let's make her feel uncomfortable. Let's ask her really weird questions. Like, this is not a form of torture. Oh my god, why? Why are you suddenly... Ugh, okay. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for respecting that boundary. I know I laugh, but it's a defense mechanism. If I'm feeling uncomfortable, I will laugh. But, oh my lord. Okay. Casper Pie. Pie Casper is a unicorn. I was like, wait a second. There's something not quite right about this picture. Okay, if this is not too random, what would Maddie's name be if she turned evil for a short episode of something? It's not random because it's still related to me because it's about my character, so that's completely relevant. If Maddie was turned evil, what would her name be? So you mean if there was an evil version of Maddie, what would they be called? Because Maddie herself can be evil. That is possible. But if there was like a separate version of herself that was evil, what would her name be? Yeah, okay. I like being pedantic, I'm sorry, but yeah. Mary's not evil. She's lawful neutral. She's not evil. She can be malicious, but she's not evil. Sadistic, sorry, not malicious. Not evil. What would her name be? I don't know. Maybe you can give me some ideas. What would her name be if, like, an evil version of Maddie? What would her name be? Goody. That's like saying, oh, this character is like they are evil, so therefore we're going to call them Dr. Evil. Mad Munchkin, so an evil version name of this. Yeah, but I don't know what that would be. I can't think what that would be. Evil Mary Sue or Dark Mary Sue, but that's lame. No, but an evil version of Mary, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about an evil version of Maddie. Because to be fair, like an evil version of Mary, like, because she's neutral, I can't really picture an evil version of her. Mad Giantess. Yes. Giant. Yes. Ooh, Mad Malice. I like that. Mad Malice. Ooh. I feel like he should be, like, looking at his own, like, mustache. No, I like Mad Malice. I like that. I think that's the answer to the question. I like, there's been a common reoccurrence in shows where certain characters fit a certain archetype, and the archetype ends up being, that's the gimmick, that I am the evil one, I am the funny one, I am the hopeless one, or whatever. And the whole idea of the show is like, because they're that is their archetype, if they break out of that, that means that we're breaking the formula that we've set for the show. But they're making it like that is the whole concept of the show. That is Amazing Digital Circus writing, and I'm not a fan of that. I'm like, it's very predictable even. It's, you go from, this is a set list of, this is what this archetype does, therefore we have to stick to that, and their personality changes over time to fit that archetype, and I'm just like, oh my god, this is so formulaic to the point that it's, I don't know, like, you can tear it apart, like, people form, like, theories and stuff. Oh, this happened because of this, and this happened because of that, and you're, like, putting the pin boards and the strings are connecting, and I'm like, it's writing, and it's like paint by numbers, but it's writing, you know, and it's, I think that's why I'm not connecting to Amazing Digital Circus, because it does feel like if paint by numbers was a series, and there's a lot of shows out there now that are similar to that they're making this thing, and it's like, oh, we'll just leave this little tidbit for the fans, and they can formulate their own fan theories, and that's where the fandom starts to build, because they're, you know, essentially predicting the writing, and I'm like, it's fun, but for me, it's not very fulfilling from a creative standpoint. That's just my personal opinion. I mean, even the most recent episode of Amazing Digital Circus called itself out for characters fitting a certain archetype, and I'm like, wow, you're so self-aware that it's actually deliberate. Wow. Okay. So, I don't know. I it's just not it's just not a show that I enjoy. I like a show that keeps me guessing, and Amazing Digital Circus is just not that sophisticated to me. I just it's not that I don't like it. It's just when you're an analyst and you start recognizing story formulas and juxtaposition and deliberately going against the grain of or formulas, it's like, are you going against the formula deliberately to evolve storytelling as an art form, or are you deliberately going against the grain, and that's the gimmick you're going for, just for the sake of being different, if that makes sense, and then that results in you're not actually being different. I am making no sense, but it's like the whole premise of Amazing Digital Circus is literally deconstructing the formula that is expected of each archetype. So you can predict what's going to happen to each character because of the archetype they fit in. I don't know why I started talking about that, but yeah, I think it's... Oh, because we were talking about evil versions of Maddie or evil versions of Mary, and that got me thinking of archetypes. And that's why I started talking about that. Okay, yeah, that explains it. And then he's got a bowler hat. It just sits on his head like a happy little bowler hat. Happy little bowler hat. Did any of that make sense, that little tangent I went on? The archetypes are symbols of something deeper, yes. But it's like this character fits this archetype, and we're going to throw little clues here that they're more than this archetype, but we're only doing that because we have to break the expectation. It's like... No, I'm sticking with my paint by numbers, but if it was a written show... Yeah, I don't know. It's just... There could be so much more potential to it, and... I don't know. It's just not... I'm not connecting with it. You are now refocused. The less good episodes of shows are the ones where the characters act completely random just because it's what's expected of them. Well, not necessarily random, but it's like the opposite of what is expected. It's out of the norm. It can't be random, because then that's just... it's not controlled. There still needs to be a reason for everything that happens within a show. There has to be a reason. It can't be random. It can feel random, but it can't literally be... this happens for no reason. There has to be a reason. Anyway, I'll stop. I'm off on a tangent. That makes no sense. How does his hair work? Is it this and then it comes out? Ah, okay. I've got it. I've got it. Merge down. I mean, I'm... Maybe I should make a video about Amazing Digital Circus. Would people like that? Hey, here's another show I'm going to tear into that. Oh god. Yeah. Maybe. Okay. When it comes to archetypes, I'll go with studies by Joseph Campbell or Carl Jung, but that's just me. Yeah. I'd watch it. Wow. I do like the arcs that Silver has done for a lot of the ponies. Are they the same that you use, Maddie? Yes. Similar archetypes, yes. There's just something soothing about the drawing process. Yeah. It's like when you take it's like a board game like Cluedo, as it's known in the UK, but in the US it's known as Clue. You've got Scarlet, and you know, you've got all these different characters, and each one represents a different like archetype within storytelling. But in a more sophisticated, as story's got more sophisticated over time, characters can be a mix of different archetypes. They can't just be one. They don't have to just be one. They can be a mix, and they can serve different purposes throughout storytelling. And it's like a lazy Susan thing spinning around, and you know, it's I think like for me, but when your archetypes are so set in concrete that the story becomes so predictable, and for me, Digital Circus, that is its main problem. The visuals make it feel unpredictable because it's so chaotic and unhinged. But there are shows out there that do a similar concept and have, in my brain, been a lot more successful with it. But sadly have not had the same attention because they're not as marketable. Or visually appealing. So they don't get the same attention. That doesn't look good. Guys, how do you draw beards? Very poorly. Now I've got, okay, my favorite album ever is, I believe the full name of it is, oh goodness. I want to make sure I get the name of this right. Because it's one of those long ass names. You know, you listen to an album so often that it just ends up living in your brain rent free. Okay, never mind. It doesn't have a long name at all. It's called Transcendence, and from the Devon Townsend project. And my favorite song from this album is called Stormbanding. And then the song that the album is named after, called Transcendence. I've listened to this album so many times. It just plays in my brain all the time. And I'm sad that I can't play it for you guys, but if you want to hear something different, then I'd highly recommend it. I think sometimes independent get away with lesser writing because people are willing to overlook flaws due to them being technically impressive just for being indie. No, it's not that. It's nothing to do with the fact that it's independent. It's not lesser writing. The writing in the show is good, don't get me wrong. But for me, I'm not connecting to it the same way as other people are. And I feel like it's because the archetypes of each character are so damn obvious to me from a writing standpoint that I can kind of predict what's going to happen to each character, or like in some shape or form. And because it's going to flip it on its head, I know that. And it's, yeah, less polished, or maybe like oh my goodness, trying to articulate myself here. It's like almost every fantasy story has the hero story structure. The main character is like, they're an innocent farm boy and they discover something magical about their past, and it means they have to leave and go off on a grand adventure, and they have to find this particular artifact, and that artifact is going to help them defeat this huge evil thing. I mean, that's, you've got Star Wars and Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, all of those fit that formula. And you've got like the wise old man, you've got Yoda, or you've got Dumbledore, or you've got Gandalf, and like, or you could say Obi-Wan, and you've always got the scene of them, like, they're still in their hometown trying to figure out, are we going to leave, and they're staring off into the sunset. There's always that one scene where they're debating if they're going to go off on an adventure or stay home. And that's not bad writing. It's just, this is what works, so we're going to keep reinventing it over and over. And, like, you've got the archetypes of the Wizard of Oz as well. You've got Dorothy, who's the innocent farm child. And you've got the Cowardly Lion, and like the Scarecrow and the Tin Man. Tin Man is the heart, Scarecrow is the brain, Lion is the nerve or courage or whatever you want to talk about. You look at any fantasy story, there's characters that will be like, oh, I need this to overcome this. I have no brain, so therefore I'm going to chase after getting a brain. Or, or, oh, if I help this main character with this, then it will help me get this. And and it's what works. But at the same time, it's like you start seeing these formulas over and over, and you start to predict everything that happens. So thanks for joining, Blissy. I went off on a tangent again. I'm not really explaining myself fully here. Thanks for joining. Okay. The hero's journey. Yeah, the hero's journey. Biographical portrait. Hero's quest or hero's journey, also known as the monomyth, is the common template of stories that involve a hero who goes on an adventure. Yeah. There you go. Okay, let's see if we can get this guy done. I really worry that sometimes I like when I'm talking about this stuff that I come off as stuck up or like elitist or whatever, but it's what I've studied, and I'm not an expert and I'm not even a writer, but I can recognize patterns and it bothers me. That doesn't mean it's bad, it just means that, oh, I know what this thing is, what formula this thing is following, so therefore my brain can kind of predict what's going to happen, so therefore I don't get emotionally invested as easily as some people do. So it's sad because it's like, it means is dissonance the right word? Yeah, tension or clash resulting from the combination of two disharmonious or unsuitable elements. No, lack of agreement, dissonance between the truth and what people want to believe. Yeah, I guess that is the right word here. I hate that I'm wired this way, guys, sometimes, because it means I can't just sit down and enjoy a movie. you know? You sound like someone who knows what she's talking about. If someone sees it as elitist, it's not your fault. Well, that is reassuring, but I don't think I sound like someone that knows what they're talking about. I'm finding it difficult to string words together, but hopefully I'm able to convey my meaning efficiently, eventually. Oh my god, why? I will be calling it at night soon. Charlie is correct. Oh, darn it. There we go. Save your work. Thank you for the reminder. Oh, that's way too big. Wow. I feel like it should actually be... Yeah, that's more chaotic. Love it. Okay. But does anyone else have an album like that, or just music in general that just lives in their brain? Like, you don't even have to be listening to it, but that's what your brain plays for you. Or maybe that's just me. Oh, damn it, Chris. My little soda pop. Yeah. You're all I think of. Every drop I drink up. I can't sing it because that's yeah. I know I asked. Depends on what music I've heard lately. Okay. Oh. Whistle Black Sabbath. Okay. I did ask the question. Orinoco Flow, Bad Romance, Give Me a Man After Midnight. Okay. Yeah. That hat looks weird. But, oh well, whatever. It's Casper Pie. It's fine. You might be an NPC. Oh, wait. We have... Actually, you know what? No, we're not doing that. There. Okay, I am going to put the camera off because we're going to end the stream soon, I think. Actually, oh, we can leave it up, it's fine. But I am getting kind of hungry, so I need to stop and get some food and then wind down for the day. go eat. Yeah, we've been streaming for almost 4 hours. So I think that's a good time to end the stream. But if people want me to do this more often, please let me know. I think this has been good. So if people want me to do this more often, let me know and I will try and do so. Thanks for joining me, guys. Have a good one. Put your shopping cart away, wash your hands, wear your seatbelt, all that wonderful stuff. Just be excellent to each other. Alrighty. Good night, guys.